everybody. For those of you that don't know me, I am Tiffany Maurer and I teach 6th grade language arts and geography here at Hake, of course. And this is my introduction to the Emerald Isle tour. And this will be my second tour with this tour company, with EF Tours. And I'm really excited to share more about that with you now. Okay, so our meeting will cover why I believe travel is important. It'll give more details about our tour. We'll talk about our travel partner, EF Tours, what's included in the price and what's not. We'll talk about safety, and then finally how to reserve your spots. Well, like I said, the Ireland tour will be my second tour. I am taking 23 travelers to Costa Rica this summer, and I'm very, very excited about that. I'm passionate about travel. Well, first of all, when I was a kid, I didn't get to travel. We just didn't have the means to do that. And so, as an adult, I've slowly begun to broaden my horizons and really make travel a priority in my own life. And it's amazing to me in my 30s how much I'm, getting a more broad perspective on things as I've started to travel more. And then some things that I have here, ideas I've jotted down, benefits of travel. It really does improve social and communication skills. So if we have students that are, on the shy side, this is going to get them outside of their bubble and exploring more, and broaden their horizons. Traveling and experiencing a new culture will always, enhance tolerance for diversity. I think it makes people more confident because you put yourselves in situations that are going to make you feel uncomfortable, and we learn from that we are going to be fine, and we really get a resilience from it. You get real life hands-on education. You're in it, you're seeing it, you're smelling it, you're there, creating memories for a lifetime, having fun, but also getting to know a lot about yourself. And these are the things that I want our students to be able to have for themselves, and hopefully presenting this opportunity in a format that can work for some of our families here. Alright, so a little bit about our itinerary. We fly into Dublin, and that's where we would spend our first 2 days. A couple highlights from there. Trinity College is a college that was built in, or founded in 1592. It has an enormous library that I'm really looking forward to checking out. We'll visit St. Patrick's Cathedral that was founded in 1191. And we'll take a couple walking tours, actually, because we're there in Dublin a couple days. Beyond that, we move on to Galway, which is going to be a little bit more kind of like a suburb. On day 5, I'm so excited. The Cliffs of Moher is featured in Harry Potter. Which one? Which one was it? Hold on, I have it written down here. Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. Also, we've got the Ring of Kerry, which is basically like a day trip that near Killarney, or south of Killarney, that really takes you along some amazing sites, of Ireland's countryside. One of the things that I really love about this tour is that there's Dublin, but most of this trip is really countryside, and relaxing, and you really get to stop and take things in more. Experience that we go through with EF tours will help students become global citizens. It will bring subjects and destinations to life. I recently did a training tour with EF, and I went to Barcelona at the end of December. And during my brief amount of time in Spain, I felt like I had seen everything in Barcelona that I could possibly see. It was absolutely amazing. The amount of stuff that we did in such a short period of time, and the amount of things that I learned from visiting all of the destinations, and the information that the tour guide was able to make fun and interesting for all of us to learn. Also, develop perspectives that set students apart on college applications and give them a leg up in their future careers. I think that an experience like this looks very, very good on a college application. Not only the experience of it, but there are also things like WeShare where students can apply to get high school or college credit for the learning that they will do on this tour. Also, spark the lifelong ability to take on any new experience with confidence. We would be taking these students way far outside of their bubble and outside of their comfort zone in a safe way, of course. And some of our kids are so used to the, same day-to-day routine and kind of things going a certain way. And for them to experience something so incredibly different than what they're used to, it's going to create more of a resilience in them, and really open their eyes to, how to handle new experiences. So there are other similar tour companies out there. Why choose EF? They have over 50 years of experience, global and local presence, over 500 schools and offices in over 53 countries. I actually was fortunate enough while I was in Barcelona to visit one of their English language immersion schools, and it's pretty interesting. I didn't even realize that they had these schools in addition to their offices. Also, the educational value. We're not just going to go and have fun and play around in Ireland. We're really going to learn a lot about the country and the individual cities and the history of everything. EF is accredited just like our school. They are an educational institution, and students can earn high school and college credit like I mentioned before. They also provide incredible travel experiences at the guaranteed lowest price, and we'll be getting to price in a moment because I'm sure that's the main thing you guys are looking for right now. So once again, with all those offices worldwide, EF really does provide a world of support. They have a team of personnel around the globe, and for anything that we need, there's 24/7 help, and they're really serious about having the support available around the clock, so that if we have a lost document or anything like that, they're there for us. They're not just going to take our money and send us on our way. They're truly there to support us. Some of the people that I have talked to have been traveling with EF year after year after year for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, and they wouldn't keep doing that if they weren't getting the support that they needed to feel comfortable and to feel safe. So speaking of safety, EF is committed to our safety. We will have a 24/7 tour director. So that is, someone from EF that is with us the entire time. Also, at a lot of the destinations and cities, we have an additional tour director, whose job it is that, they specialize in that city's history or in a particular destination's history so they can make sure we're really getting all that information. We will have adult chaperones. I think we're aiming for a 1-to-8 ratio on this trip. 24-hour emergency on-call service, peace of mind policy, which we can talk a little bit more about later. And then there's also my personal approach to safety. First and foremost, all of the students that have been invited on this tour were invited for a reason. And, they have exhibited those characteristics that I believe would make them a good match for this tour. Even the students that I don't know personally, I've been able to gather data on to know that they would be good to invite. And obviously, if you didn't trust your own child to be, responsible and make good choices, you probably wouldn't even be listening to this right now. Policies and expectations are made extremely clear throughout the process, and students will go into it knowing exactly what they need to do in order to meet those expectations. So when I first started looking into my first tour, I'm taking a group of students to Costa Rica this summer. And I looked at the pricing and I thought, well, how does that really compare to if I priced it all out individually? And I could see right off the bat when I was trying to do that this way was definitely saving money. And so I asked my contact at EF, I asked Shane how they were able to do that. And basically it's because taking a group really lowers the price of every component. And so you'll notice that our departure window is June 15th through the 23rd, and having that flexibility also allows us to save some money as well. And there is a possibility that we would be combined with other students from another city or another state, which actually provides another unique opportunity for our students to gain a different perspective. But regarding that departure window, we know that exact departure date 110 days from from June 15th of 18. So that will become firm a few months out. So the price of the tour automatically includes the travel protection plan, and that covers tour cancellation and interruption. So that would be if the tour were canceled by EF Tours, or if there was some sort of issue at our destination there in Ireland, if there were maybe a safety concern, which I certainly wouldn't expect from Ireland, maybe some other countries possibly, but not from there. And then, some of those outside of our power type cancellations or any reason why we would feel unsafe. It also covers illness and accident while you're on the trip, baggage and property, flight delays, so they would, change all of our plans so that flight delay would still get us where we need to be and going with our trip. Also, 24 access to an English-speaking representative. Okay, so I promise that we are close to seeing the pricing for this. Outside of the cost for the trip, students are responsible for some spending money, including like if they wanted to do any extra activities, which it would actually be a very rare thing for that downtime to even occur. That money would cover any souvenirs, beverages, also lunches and snacks. So unfortunately with the European tours, the lunches are not included. So that would be about $30 per day. I think that is a very over generous estimate. I don't know. what kid would be buying that many souvenirs? Again, those free time activities, I just don't believe are going to happen. So even with beverage, lunch, and snacks, I still think it would be closer to $10 a day. And then it is customary to tip the tour director, bus driver, and local guides, and that comes to about $10 per day per traveler. So I would say, honestly, looking at $20 per day. This is a 9-day tour, but my main goal with fundraising would be to cover that portion. And that would be with fundraisers that I spearhead myself, like a donut sale or Hake Teachers Pay for Dress Down Days, um, things like that. I can't really make a lot of promises for fundraising, toward the trip. There are many fundraising opportunities that you could participate in, but my personal goal would be to cover that lunch money and the tip money at the very least with the fundraisers that I do. You would also be responsible for getting passports for travelers that don't already have them, and always keep in mind that that takes, you want to allow a few months for that, but this trip is over a year away, so there is plenty of time for that. Just know that, obviously that is something that would need to be taken care of. Okay, so what's included? Round trip flights on major carriers. It's not going to be, a tiny airline that nobody's unheard of. Comfortable motor coach. So we would be traveling over a great deal of the country, and so we would have like a nice, comfortable bus for that. All hotel rooms with private bathrooms. It wouldn't be like a hostile situation where kids are having to share a bathroom with, strangers other than those people maybe on the tour with us, traveling with us, that they don't necessarily know. Breakfast and dinner daily. That 24/7 tour director. Entrance to all of the sites. I think there's like one or two additional excursions, but everything listed on the itinerary is included. Entrance fees to the attractions that are listed. We Share is the online platform for deeper learning. That's how the kids would get that high school or college credit. The Global Travel Protection Plan, educational itinerary, and tour donation page. That tour donation page is kind of like a GoFundMe, and it provides students with a resource that they can share with family members or friends of the family so that they can, essentially ask for donations. Okay, so here's the hard part. The total price for this is $34.55. And actually, the Irish music and dance, um, that's optional, so it would be a little lower than that. But that includes the protection plan, the early enrollment discount for those of you that enroll by February 10th. And I know what you're thinking. Same thing I'm thinking. That's a lot of money. And trust me, I understand. Um, but I think that with it being broke down to those monthly payments, it definitely makes it a lot more obtainable for some families. Um, and there are fundraising options. For the Costa Rica trip this summer, I've got students selling popcorn, students selling pizza, and really that's up to the families to come together and, put together small groups and try to figure out where they can go with that. I've got people doing concession stands at Busch Stadium where they're able to keep a part of the profit for their fundraiser. And then there's also that donation page that's similar to a GoFundMe page that students can share with family and friends of the family to ask for those donations as well. So there are definitely options to lessen the burden. So consider that. And I also would like for you to consider not only the tangible things that are included in that price, which the airfare, the hotels, breakfast and dinner, the tour director that's with us the entire way, answering all of our questions, um, our activities, and those tours and entrances to the various places we'll be going. I challenge you to, you know, look into those locations a little bit more, and maybe see how much they would cost if we were really breaking it down. And you'll start to really see how much of a value this is. Round trip airfare alone to Ireland is usually, $1,000 plus. So it really is a good value. Still a lot of money, but a good value. Also consider not only those tangible things that are included, but the intangible benefits that the students will get from the learning experience, from getting outside of their bubble and learning about a new culture firsthand, and putting themselves in situations where they're really going to challenge themselves. Okay, there are three payment options. You can pay in full when you sign up. That's definitely not a popular one. There's the automatic payment plan. That would be those payments each month of $210, and that is automatic. Or there's a manual payment plan, and there's a $50 fee for that. Um, but you have a little bit more flexibility. Um, but you also have to pay $500 within 30 days, and another 500 within 90 days. So really put some thought into which of those would work out best for you. And this is just a little preview of what the tour donation page looks like again. And I have had a few students experience great success with this. Parents share it with coworkers and basically everyone they know, put it out there in social media. And it's really helpful because it explains the why of the trip and what travelers are really going to get out of it rather than just begging for money. Okay, so that's that, and I imagine there are a lot of questions. I will still be having the meeting in the library on Tuesday, January 31st at 7 p.m. And so feel free to come in. I will be showing all this all over again and going a lot further in depth and answering any questions, and then we'll have computers there so you can further explore those places on the itinerary, and so that you can enroll if that's what you're able to do as far as making that decision this quickly. And if not, you've got a little bit of time to put some thought into it as well. Thank you so much for bearing with me with my technology issues this evening, and hopefully I've been able to get you some of the information that you wanted.